Everything you learned about how to cook baby back ribs is completely wrong. Look, I know that sounds crazy, but after I finally nailed restaurant quality ribs at home using nothing but my basic smoker, I had to call BS on all the overcomplicated advice out there. I used to be that guy who spent 3 weekends in a row turning perfectly good racks into expensive dog treats, all because I was following some pitmaster's 47-step process. But then I stumbled onto the stupid, simple approach that changed everything for me. Now, my neighbor Jim, who never compliments anyone about their cooking, keeps asking me to teach him how to cook baby back ribs. Do you want to know the stress-free process? Good, because I'm going to show you exactly what works best for me. Hey everyone, I'm Corey, here from Smoky Beginnings. And look, I've been exactly where you are right now. I would stand in the meat section, staring at those rack of ribs, and I would be wondering if I'm about to waste $30 and my entire Saturday. Here's what nobody tells you. Most people fail at ribs, not because they're hard to cook, but because they're following the wrong approach. See, the issue isn't that you need a better technique, it's that you have seen methods that are designed for barbecue competitions, not your backyard. These recipes have you checking temperatures every 20 minutes. Use like 3 thermometers and follow charts that look like rocket science. In the end, you spend your whole day babysitting the grill instead of enjoying your weekend. But what if I told you that the secret to incredible baby back ribs isn't more complexity? It's actually less. And what if you could get that fall off of the bone rib by removing 90% of the stress? By the way, if you're new to backyard barbecue and need a little help with cooking times and temperatures, I have a free guide for you. It covers everything from meats to veggies, and it's perfect for getting started. Just drop a 100 down in the comments below and I'll send it your way. Before I get to the method, let's start with the basic. Baby back ribs, they come from up near the spine. They're shorter and are leaner than spare ribs, which works in our favor. They cook faster, they're more forgiving, and honestly, they're harder to screw up than most people think. When you're buying them, don't overthink it. Just look for a rack that's right around 2 to 2.5 pounds. But decent marbling. Now here's the first thing that'll make you look like a pro, but it takes 30 seconds. See this little shiny membrane on the back? Most people either skip this or spend about 10 minutes wrestling with it. And here's the trick. Grab a paper towel for grip, get your fingers under one corner, and just peel it off like a Band-Aid. Quick and clean. This membrane blocks flavor and makes your ribs chewy, so it's gotta go. But don't stress if you can't get every bit of it. We're not aiming for perfection here. Okay, here's where I'm gonna blow your mind with how simple this gets. Forget complicated marinades. Just grab some kosher salt and sprinkle it all over these bad boys. That's it. Stick them in the fridge overnight or at least for a couple of hours. I know it sounds too simple, but this dry brine thing pulls moisture out, then the salt dissolves and gets pulled back deep into the meat. More flavor, better texture, zero effort. This is how you cook baby back ribs without the stress. For the rub, forget about buying those $12 bottles of secret blend. Here's what I keep in my pantry that makes killer ribs every time. Paprika. It gives you that beautiful color. Garlic powder and onion powder. Because, duh. Black pepper, freshly cracked, salt. And if you're feeling fancy, a little bit of chili powder or cayenne powder for a little bit of some extra heat. Mix it up, rub it in, and you're done. No sugar in this rub because we'll add sweeteners. Keep it simple. Now, I don't care if you got a $3,000 pellet smoker or you're working with an oven in your apartment. This method works for everyone. For the smoker folks, set it to 250 degrees. Walk away. Use apple or cherry wood because it's sweet and mild. For the people that are using an oven, I see you. Line a baking sheet with foil and put a wire rack right on top. Set the oven to 250 degrees. You won't get that smoky flavor, but you still get tender, delicious ribs. And I have a whole video about how to cook ribs in the oven. I'll leave a link in the comments down below. Here's where everyone gets confused with baby back ribs. Cooking times. You've heard of the 3-2-1 method? Well, that is for spare ribs, not baby backs. For baby back ribs, we do a 2-2-1. And I'm going to explain this like you're my neighbor Jim. 2 hours naked, just the ribs out the smoker, getting smoky. 2 hours wrapped. We're going to wrap it in foil, and then 1 hour wrapped with sauce. And that's if you want sauce. And that's pretty much it. No checking every 20 minutes, no complicated temperature monitoring. Just set a timer and trust the process. When those first 2 hours are up, lay out some heavy-duty aluminum foil. Put the ribs meat side down, toss in a couple pats of butter, maybe a splash of apple juice, or even beer. This isn't rocket science. You're just creating a little steam environment. Wrap them up tight and get them back on the heat. Now, after those 2 hours in foil, carefully unwrap them. And I mean carefully, because they're gonna be fall apart tender. Now, if you want to sauce them, now is the time to do that. Brush it on and give them that final hour to tighten back up and caramelize that sauce. But honestly, sometimes I skip the sauce entirely because the rub and the meat flavor is just that good for me. Forget the thermometer drama. Here's how you know your baby back ribs are done. Pick up the rack with tongs from one end, and if they bend and the meat starts to crack slightly, but doesn't fall apart completely, they're golden. If they're still stiff, give them more time. If they fall apart, when you pick them up, then you overcook them. But they're still going to taste amazing. Let the ribs rest for about 10 minutes. This way, when you're slicing them, you don't burn your fingers. Flip them bone side up so you can see where to cut. And then using a sharp knife, slice in between the bones. And then try not to eat half the rack before it even hits the plate. Serve them with pickles, some coleslaw, or just grab some napkins and go to town. Real quick, here are the biggest mistakes I've seen people do when making baby back ribs. Don't boil them. First, that's gross. And you'll lose all the flavor. Don't keep on opening the grill to check. You're letting all the heat out. Don't rush the process. Low and slow is the only way to go. And please, don't overthink it. This is backyard barbecue. If you screw it up, just order a pizza and learn from your mistakes for the next time. Now, why does this method work so well? It's because it's designed for real people with real lives. You're not chained to the grill all day. You're not stressing about temperatures. You're following a simple process. And that simple process has been proven to work time and time again. The dry iron builds flavor while you sleep. The rub gives you that beautiful bark. The 2-2-1 method keeps everything tender without turning it into mush. And the best part, you can enjoy your weekend instead of spending it hovering over the grill or the oven or the smoker. So that's my no stress method for how to cook baby back ribs. But what if it's raining, snowing, or you don't even have a grill or a smoker? Well, you're in luck, because I'm going to show you how to make ribs in your oven. Ribs that are so tender and flavorful, you might just ditch the grill altogether. Click right here to watch that video next, and I'll see you there.